What's up guys, Triple C here. Today the new supercar was released. We got the Wagner today, and like with all the new supercars, I will be doing the stunt test with it to see if it's actually good on stunning. Now, for people who don't know how I do this test, I always test all the new supercars on exactly the same types of stunts, so we have a direct comparison. And this test is not about whether the car is quick in general, if it's good for cornering and stuff like that. We only test it on stunts to see if it's good for stunt racing, on all types of stunts that you will encounter over and over in the game, like wall rides, like spirals, stuff like that. And in the end, I will be giving you my results and tell you if it's actually worth buying in terms of stunt racing or not. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump right into the stunt test. So yeah, first test, we're testing it on a regular container wall ride, and the thing is, every car will wall ride, including clown vans. I can drive a clown van over this wall ride if I have enough speed. So this is more about how does it actually feel on the wall. Is the steering sensitive when I steer it on the wall, or is it rather steady, like with the Entity, for example? We're going to watch out for stuff like that. Also, what we're going to be able to see is, will the camera turn on the back of the car where we lose our view? That's going to be an important factor when doing stunts like this. And how does it react to the dummy proof, the container I'm going to slam into to line myself up for the on-ramp here. So let's test it out. That was actually, we're got to get used to it. It's the first time I'm ever wall riding this, but very steady actually. A bit more sensitive than cars like the Entity, for example. So I gotta be a bit more careful when steering on the wall, but all in all, it kept a pretty straight line pretty easily. Also regarding that it's the first time ever I'm actually trying a wall ride with this car. And what I gotta say with the dummy-proof container, I'm very pleasantly surprised that it didn't go up the container, because that's what a lot of supercars do. They're not guided by the container, but they want to drive up the container. This worked very well with this car. The camera is good, I'm not losing my camera view. It is relatively steady, but a bit more sensitive than the most steady cars you might be used to. But definitely something that's very doable, and yeah, man, we gotta check it out later on all the other stunts. So far, I'm very pleasantly surprised. Regarding this is also a downforce car with rear-wheel drive, which are traditionally always did bad in the stunt tests. This one's doing very well up to now. So yeah, very straightforward. I'm not having any difficulties at all, taking it through there very easily. So very nice on walls, definitely. Yeah, definitely a pass here. Alright, next test, we're doing steep ascending wall rides, and this is where it could get interesting already, because traditionally all the rear-wheel drive cars, they tend to lose power once you get to the steep part of the wall ride, and that's also exactly the point where you're going to lose your camera view once they lose their power going up there. And let's see, yeah, we are losing the camera. Shit. That's exactly what we also had with cars like the X80 Proto, for example. Even though it's such a powerful car, it is a very low car, and that's exactly when you lose your camera view. So, really pity there. I would have gotten over it regarding the power, but just exactly in that moment when I lost my camera view, I did a mistake on steering, because you don't really see where you are anymore. Let's do it another time. So definitely I will get it over there, but cars like, totally guessing where I am. Yeah, I could have just as well fallen off there. So, I mean, the best stunning cars up to date are still T20, Osiris, and Torno. They do not lose their camera view. They go up there easily. So, I'd give it a semi-pass. Like, for me, I would never take it on a race like this, because also on races which you don't know exactly what to expect. I want to have a car which will not lose its camera view. So, it did get over it, but definitely still not recommended. I'd recommend Osiris T20 Zentorno on this. So semi-pass, semi-fail, whatever you decide, but not the best car for this. Alright, so next stunt is a new era type of stunt, like barge spiral to overhead wall ride to spiral back into a wall ride. And basically I can already tell you from our previous tests that we are going to lose the camera view. We're also going to see if it's slippery going up the barge spiral part. But one thing I can say, it is very nice on the track. According to things I've heard, there's a problem with the downforce multiplier at the moment. Rockstar broke something there and people expect it to get fixed. So that will also have an influence on how this car will handle on the track once the downforce gets fixed. But yeah, let's go into the stunt here, and I will predict that we will lose our camera view like we just did on the overhead wall ride. Pretty sure this is going to happen, so we're going to be blind once we're on the relevant part of the stunt. Yeah, here we're blind, we're just guessing where we are. We could basically see it a bit, but yeah. Fail on this one, I'd say. Other cars like the Osiris T20s and Torno, they do not lose their camera view. You always see where you are. You have a good overview. So it did make it easily like any supercar would. Every supercar does this, but this one does lose its camera view, so fail on this one. Alright, next test we're going to do is the King JMK loop, and every car made this up to now, except for the X80 Proto. So I do expect this car to also make it. We're going to drive down this loop and see if it connects to the building wall. And let's see if it sucks up to it. Yeah, it does. So yeah, no big surprise here. I would expect every car to make it, basically. Like I said, only the X80 Proto didn't make this, so also a pass on this one like expected. Next test, we're doing it on a red container spiral, and we are looking for some specifics in here. So it's not about whether it will do the spiral, because any car will do the spiral. We already know that it loses its camera view, which is a pity, but that's also not what we're looking for here. What we're going to be doing is we're going to go into the spiral at from a very low distance and see if it can develop that power, that torque, that raw energy to get the car up there and still grip to it. And this is where all the four-wheel drive cars do extremely well, and the two-wheel drive cars do bad because they don't develop the traction. The front wheels are not helping to get up there in the beginning. So we are on two-wheel drive here with this car. Let's see how it sticks to the spiral if we go in it at a low speed from very close. No, look, it's not even like other cars. Zentorno, T20, Osiris, they even accelerate on that part because the front wheels also help get the car up there. And this one gradually lost speed. I didn't even get it up there. I will have to go from a bit further distance to even develop that initial speed to get it up there. So definitely the four-wheel drive cars are the big advantage here. This was so tricky. I always had to steer into the spiral to get the traction at all. So basically, if you don't know spiral driving techniques, which is always constantly steering into it a bit to develop the traction, you're not going to have a very good time on this one here. So yeah, I can already tell you now, not recommended for stuff like this. Four-wheel drive cars at a very big advantage here. So yeah, with that distance, I can't basically make it. And now on the way down, we're going to test something else. We're going to see if it's slippery or not. So what I will do now, on our way back, I will yank the steering suddenly once I'm upside down in the first spiral, and see if it spins out immediately or if we still maintain our traction. No, immediately spun out. And this is, for example, Zentorno is definitely the best car for stunts like these, because the Zentorno, I can yank my steering as hard as I want. It will not spin out, you know, it's just unreal how much you can yank the steering. So now I'm just driving a straight line without yanking the steering too much, and I will probably get through it, hopefully. Nah, I fell off. Let's do it again. But yeah, I will get up and down there, so if you know your spirals, if you know your stunts, you can get through this with any car. But if you're still kind of new to this, and then I would recommend a different car which just has a better traction on this. So definite fail on this one. Terrible traction, which is no surprise because this is a two-wheel drive car, and those are always problematic on stunts like these. So unfortunately a fail. Next up, we're testing it on crab slides. Now with crab slides, there's three types of cars. There's cars that stay on their side, which is a good thing. There's cars that roll over on their roof, which is also a good thing. And there's cars that go on the wheel, which is terrible, and that would be a fail actually, because then you cannot work with the stunt at all, and it's a stunt that you see over and over in stunt races. So let's check it out. Didn't want to go up the dummy proof there a bit, and no, it wants to go on its wheels. No, fail on crab slides. And here you're gonna see we're gonna go on our wheels. Like for example the Adder or the Tempesta, they stay on their side. for so long. You can just have them slide on and on. Other cars like Osiris, T20s, and Torno, they will roll over on the roof. This one went on its wheels, so definite fail on the crab slide. Okay, so I got a small bonus test here. This is not going to affect the end result. I just want to see it just out of curiosity. I want to see how the car actually flips. Now this is a stunt I started building for the Osiris. So obviously it's fine-tuned for the Osiris. It's not a lot, it's just one flip in the beginning. But I still want to see if it does flip straight or if it will veer out to one of the sides or if we get a straight barrel roll in total. So let's just see how it's going to do on this one here. Hey, pretty straight. Okay. It landed perfectly like the Osiris. Should. So yeah, it actually does flip very straight and does work well with the dummy proof. Although I do have the run-up tilted a bit there. So that might be a different result if it's completely straight. But yeah, very pleasant surprise. I'm definitely curious to see what people might be building with this. You could actually, just judging from this very quick test I did here, it might be possible to build like a fully dummy-proofed stunt with nice flips in there, because it did flip very straight. Very nice surprise here. Alright, so we got the final test now. We're doing a huge loop. It's Freaky League's huge loop racing number 3, and there are only very few cars which can actually make the stunt. I will drive down to the checkpoint and take it from the respawn like I did with all the other cars. So I'll do a quick respawn once in here. So far, only wait, yeah, that was the respawn. Tempesta, X80 Proto, Osiris, Zentorno T20, and also the Penetrator also made this one. No other car got around this loop, so this is a make or break situation here. And all the 4-wheel drive cars, they did good on this. All the 2-wheel drive cars, no matter how quick they are on a straight line on the track, they have trouble sticking to this loop at higher speeds. So let's see how this one does. No, I'm losing. No, I'm off the loop already. It looks like I'm on it, but I'm actually falling. Yeah, there you see it. Fail, because it does only have the 2-wheel drive. This might be... we might get a slightly different result if Rockstar does fix the downforce and we stick to the loop better because of the downforce. But as of now, with the 2-wheel drive, it does not develop that raw power to get up there because the front wheels are not helping the car to stick to the loop. We'll give it one more shot here, but we will have the same result. Basically, you see it here already. It does get slow. Now I'm not touching the loop anymore. It's hard to see, but I'm actually off it already. So yeah, also fail on this one, unfortunately. I would like to see how it slams into the dummy proof after that, but yeah, what the heck. So yeah, all in all, it is a fun car to drive, I gotta say, but it just really did bad on so many stunts, unfortunately, which is also to be expected with a 2-wheel drive car which has downforce. These are not cars for stunning. Rockstar announced all these cars like ETR, RE7B, and all those cars we got with cutting stunts. They said stunt-ready vehicles. None of them were stunt-ready. We got 7 new cars. They all failed the stunt test. So it's just probably a gimmick to get people to buy these cars, or Rockstar doesn't really know what's important in a stunt. I think I'll try it again with a bit more of a run-up here. Then we might even get through it, but well, like I said, we're always testing it on the same conditions, so always from the respawn. That's our criteria in this one to get through it. But it's not feeling good as of now already. No, I am falling off, yeah. And I'm off. So yeah, like I said, it is a fun car to drive, but in terms of stunt racing, there's no way in the world this one will replace the top cars like Osiris, T20s, and Torno. You will still see most stunt races built for those cars. It's not because the creators like them, because they just perform the best on the stunts. Yeah, so all in all, if you're just looking for a car for stunt racing, this one is a fail. It cannot hold up with the top supercars. Still fun to drive though, still worth the money in my opinion. On generic types of stunts, it will get through, and regular stunt races, and some of the Rockstar races where you do have boosts and all that on the big ass stunts. And you do have that different weird camera where you will not lose your camera view. But all in all, if you're a real stunt racer, this is not your car. So that's the total for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed the stunt test. I will be testing all the other cars. There's some high hopes that the new supercar will actually be good for stunning. So stay tuned for that video where I will test it in detail. Hope I could help you guys out, and I'm out. Peace.